Well, howdy, folks. Howdy, folks. Oh, another day, another amazing day. Had a great day in Bangkok. How was your day? Of course, everything I'm doing on YouTube is wrong because nobody knows when there's no schedule. I don't know what's the best time to come on. I think in the morning, probably, but I have no interest in growing the channel. So I guess it doesn't make any difference. I know that we'll be up to our ears in trade show by tomorrow, so probably not gonna get any more time to do this, so thought, "Hey, let's just go online for an hour," not an hour, I'll probably do 20, 15, 20 minutes. Let's see who's here. ET Travel Freely, the king of YouTube himself. If there's one caretaker, if there's one man in charge of keeping people accountable and taking out the garbage, it is the one and only E.T. Travel Freely, the great guy who is doing the Lord's work. Thank you for your prodigious work, E.T., holding people accountable and having fun while doing it. We're big admirers. Yeah, we're just chilling here in Bangkok. There's the hip hop honeyco over there. Oh, there's honeyco. That's just in the chat too. Doing awesome. It was nice that Big Kevin had a show after mine yesterday, which was good. He had Havoc Master Steve up there at some point. I think Don C came. Who else was on that show? Some of the legends like Don C and Havoc Master. And then ET had quite an all-star cast. I woke up this morning and it seemed like it was a who's who. Yeah, all is good in ET land. That's great. Oh, Frank's reacts to Biggie. I just saw notification come from Allo. Well, you don't want to miss that. Frank reacts to Biggie. I don't care what Frank says. I never have, and I'm not going to waste my time listening to it. I never do. I never ever listen to Frank. I actually was giving Frank a compliment, saying that I admired the fact that he held on to his relationship for 10 years and he didn't hide the woman even though she's older and married and everything else. He never hid that. He stood by her, took the heat. But a big shout out to Allo, who's doing the same show at the same time. Shout out to Allo, who's done some great vlogging, I think, in his vlogs on Vietnam and Bali. Well, I've had lots of private discussions with Allo in the past, ET. You have to understand, guys freak out over Allo, but what they're freaking out at is a clown mask. And what his job is to agitate and to pit everybody and to get everybody all riled up. Now, that's what he does, and that's what he says he does. He doesn't even deny that. That's what his mission is. It's so easy to rile up the community because most of the community is basement boys. Most of the community are losers who are trying to prove to everybody in the community that they're much bigger men than they are. Like Frank. Frank is a loser all his life. What did he do? 3 or 4 bankruptcies, Section 8 housing, worked in a cannery. I mean, the guy's never amounted to anything, but he wants to be like the king of YouTube. Everyone's talking about him. But in real life, when you meet somebody, you're never going to waste your time with someone like that. That's why he has no friends. That's why he could never do a show with another person in real life because nobody wants to hang out with the guy. He has to live on an anthill in an island somewhere where nobody talks to him. Now, if that's what he wants, that's fine. I don't care what people want. If they want that life, let them have it. People want to live in a province, let's say, and have no amenities, no nightlife, none of the big malls, none of the big attractions. If that's what makes them happy, then I say go for it. Go for it. Hey, chicken choker, how are you? If someone wants to live in a province in the middle of the Philippines, and if they genuinely happy with that lifestyle, I'm happy for them. I was raised in the city and I lived on a farm for a couple years in the Philippines. We have a farm out by Balamban, and I like it out there. I really do. But I always had to come back to the city for work, to go travel to the other countries for work. And I found that I'm more of a city guy. But so if Frank was genuinely happy sitting in Garbage Island on an anthill, then I would say, hey, we're happy for you. We applaud you. But we know you couldn't possibly be happy because he was doing YouTube 24/7, attacking everybody. In real life, okay, I've been an expat. I've been out for more than, I think, 12 years now, 13 total years of my life. I counted it up the other day because I had a 1 year stint earlier. Um, in real life, I never get attacked by expats. I have not had a single incident with expats. And we're talking Malaysia, Singapore. I lived in Japan for a year. I go to Europe all the time with expats, like in Portugal, and of course the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia. I never have anyone come up to me and trash talk. That's not the real world. Most people mind their own business and have a good time. And if you're happy in a province, go to the province. If you're happy with there's Honeyco. Hi, Honeyco. If you're happy in city life, that's great. But if the only way you can be happy is to constantly attack people, then I would say that person's miserable. All it takes is 2 or 3 trolls, like Mrs. Heminger and a few others, the usual suspects, lobbing softballs into Frank to get him all riled up. In real life, Frank's not gonna walk up to me and say, "You live with 2 women, and I've got a big moral objection with that, and I'm gonna do something about it, mister." No, that doesn't happen. Nobody ever says a word, not a peep. And I live in a place where it's all expats in Vietnam. The street I live on, the village I live in is virtually 100% expats, and I've been there for more than a year and a half, and everybody knows my kids. They know April, they know Honeyco, and not one person's even asked a follow-up question. So you gotta separate YouTube bullshit from real life. Steve, 25901, how you doing? So YouTube bullshit versus real life. So again, I get, people say shit all the time about me in YouTube. I don't care. I don't care at all. I don't even know these people. It doesn't bother me one bit. I don't read it. I don't pay attention to it. None of them know me personally. So, like, why would it bother me? Most of them are creepy dudes that are living in the basement or idiots like Jerry the Fairy who have nothing better to do but than to make up impersonation accounts on Nico and other people like that. Keyboard warriors, you got that right. I've been doing Southeast Asia since 2004. Never You're right. You're right. I mean, I've been coming to Asia for 35 years. My first time I went to Asia was 40, well, it's 39 years ago. And I've been coming on business since 2002 on a regular basis. And then I started living in Southeast Asia in 2014 full time between the different countries. So you know as well as I do, if you've been there for 22 years and you've never experienced it outside of the bullshit on YouTube, you know it's all made up. No one's gonna walk up to you, chicken choker, and say your wife is this or your wife is that, or she's old or she's fat or she's, looks like Tojo or whatever. It's never gonna happen in a million years. Well, we got the heavyweights in here, chicken choker, ET, Steve, all the good guys. So let me just help anyone who's listening. I don't have anyone ever watch me because, yeah, I do everything you're not supposed to do to make your channel grow, like put everything in private every few days. Um, let's just have a crash course. The Frank Battaglias of the world are little mice, little mousy men who could never compete against real men in real life. The only way you can compete is to be a keyboard warrior. I don't have anything against them though. I don't spend any time of my life, not even 1 second of a day, hating Frank. I just don't think about him at all. But at the same time, we can point out the obvious. Real men don't sit there attacking other men's wives. Real men don't go up and attack people's looks. You know, all the years of being abroad, I've never had it happen even once, but it happens all the time on YouTube. So you have to separate the YouTube bullshit from reality. Now, I'll go back to what I said a minute ago. If being with an older Filipina or Thai woman is your thing and that makes you happy, great, go do it. If you want to live in a province, live in a province. If living in a province makes you a raging alcoholic, maybe you shouldn't live in a province. If if living in a city drives you crazy because of the noise and the traffic, then maybe you need to live in a province. You just got to find your happiness. For me, happiness is continuing to work. I see Don C came in. I know he's the same way. Don C is working more than ever at his age now, 67, or shall we say 68? I say 67. I know about Don's work privately, and that's what makes us happy. I love working. I love writing my books. I like I put all these books out lately on military history. I have a tremendous amount of respect for those men like the Navy corpsmen, Dan Daly, Smedley Butler, O'Grady. There's so many people that I'm going to be doing profiles on. And because I respect those people, I want them to get notoriety. I don't want myself to get notoriety. I want those people, the Navy corpsmen. There's been over 1,200 Navy corpsmen killed in battle. There's never been a group in the military, not one unit, that ever had a higher per capita amount of congressional medals of honor than the Navy corpsmen. Most people have never heard about the Navy corpsmen. Those are the things that turn me on, as well as my work and my family. Dealing with little Frank Battaglia, insignificant peon that he is, it doesn't move the needle for me at all. Sorry to say. Don C is killing it. Uh, Corman, Roger Corman. Nah, not that kind of Corman. You know, corpsmen, like the Marine Corps, but they're not Marines, they're Navy. They're usually attached to Marine units. Corpsmen, Corpsman. So when that Marine gets hurt in battle, they call Corpsman or Doc. And these are the guys that are in the battle that are saving them as the bullets are flying. So in researching the book, and if anybody doesn't have the money for it, contact April or Honeycomb. We'll get you a free copy. I want you to read it. I don't care about the money. The higher percentage of Congressional Medal of Honor winners than any unit in the military, and that is worth cheering and worth talking about. Chicken Shoka, the Battaglia Saga babysits me during my drinking times. Yeah, I think that if people get entertainment out of it, true entertainment, then it's fine. I know my good buddy Nico, and Nico would be the first to tell you this if he's telling, he'll say it sometimes. Nico takes this stuff way too personally, and he gets deeply affected by all these battles, and then he'll have to disappear. So for a guy like that, it's probably better to not do it or to minimize it. But I think there's a lot of people like you, Chicken Choker and Steve and Don, who don't get affected by it at all. You just find great entertainment in it. I don't find entertainment in it. I find it boring because I've been hearing the same crap from him for, I mean, how long has it been now? 10 years or so. And um, I actually feel sorry for the guy. I think of how many people back home would love to live in the Philippines on a beach, uh, where you have, the woman that you're with's 20 years younger than you. I mean, I'll tell you right now, most people I know who would love that lifestyle, but maybe they can't afford it or maybe they didn't plan for it. The last thing they would be doing in life is spending every waking moment on cases against Barry and on bashing people on YouTube. He's e-begging and, you know, he has tried every way to coax myself and Mick Fisher to pay Barry's fines. We're the high roaders. And how does he know we're the high roaders? I don't know what other people's financials look like. Everybody in this room might be 10 times richer than I am. I don't know. Real men don't sit around comparing their financial records. I've tried to talk about financial records with people to invest in the S&P 500. I've been doing that for over 30 years, and that's worked out well. But I'm not going to go through the numbers because I'm not going to compare it with somebody because somebody else might have done even better than I did. They might have had lots of real estate, could be any number of things. But Mick Fisher and I got painted as the high roaders, and then we got minimized. After you tell us to pay the fine, then you say that we're broke and we can't afford it. They try to coax us that way. But the reality is no one's going to pay 250,000 pesos into Frank's hand. That's not going to happen. That's why it's not being paid. Oh, you're so right about that, Steve. It's the same old shit, different day. Well, we're here in Bangkok, just for whoever wants to realize that. Bangkok this week, maybe next week. I have to go to Europe at the end of the month. I'll be there for 3 weeks or so, and I've got a trade show starting tomorrow, so probably my YouTube time will be minimized. I took a couple days of just rest and relaxation here, and it's worked. This particular pool is heated. This is like a jacuzzi. Over there is the regular pool, whoop, and that's the regular temperature. We had some pretty amazing rain earlier. We had it yesterday, and then it clears up after a few minutes, and you know, it's actually quite nice. All the air pollution goes away for a day or so, and then the temperature comes way down. So yeah, we're here for um probably this week and next week. We might go down to Phuket. I'm still looking. The problem is if I go to Phuket, I have to come all the way back to Bangkok to get to Europe. I'm gonna check. I gotta check all the flights. We really enjoy Bangkok though. I like staying in Bangkok for 1 to 2 months, maybe twice a year. We like to go to Kuala Lumpur, Georgetown, Johor Bahru, Singapore. We went to uh, Phnom Penh and Siem Reap on one of our recent trips. That was quite interesting. Our home base is always going to be Vietnam. We're talking about going back to the Philippines. We're looking for a place for 2 months. We stayed in Boracay before for 6 months. And we're looking to stay there for 2 months. So we're looking at a couple different options. Ernest Connell is in the house. Are you back in the US, Ernest Connell? And how was your trip to South Korea? Don C. Wow, that would be great. I got a trade show for 3 days starting tomorrow. It's at the Nova Center, but I'll probably be here for 2 weeks. I met Don C before. He's a gentleman and a scholar, very funny guy as well. So that's it. Just wanted to check in. I know I won't get a lot of time to do it the rest of the week, but you know, I've been going and going and going like a madman, sometimes 16 to 20 hours a day between the books, everything we're doing with these books and the business. The business is growing. We're projected to grow over 40% this year. I'm running 3 companies right now. Every one of them has a growth. The lowest of those 3 is 30%. The highest is 46%, and the middle one is 43%. So we're seeing growth that is unprecedented. So between that and the books, I don't have any time to ever relax, hardly. I'll go to the beach and relax, but sometimes your body, and when I got here to Bangkok the other day, I literally felt paralyzed. I couldn't go out and do anything the first couple days. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that way before, but I had between my bed and this jacuzzi and the gym, I think that occupied almost 2 straight days. And I took more naps in that 2 days than I've probably taken in the past 2 years. So my body was screaming, relax and take it easy, get a little rest and relaxation because once I get back into it, I'm such a workaholic that sometimes I can't put it down for sometimes more than 20 hours in a day. I'm referring to Seoul, yeah. How was Seoul? Ernest Connell, we met last week, and he was off the next day off to Seoul. and Ernest has been to 22 countries this year. As I wrote in my upload, Ernest is the opposite of a basement boy. Basement boy never leaves the basement. Ernest, 22, 23 countries now, plus 2 cruises. To say he's been killing it is an understatement. Smoke the weed. Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, chicken choker. I have never smoked marijuana in my life. April has. April likes to occasionally do it. April's done the gummies as well. Actually, April and Big Kevin did the gummies together up in Chiang Mai. It was amazing. Kevin was like Elmer Fudd. You should have seen him after a couple gummies. Unbelievable. But what I got addicted to, truthfully, is I started smoking cigars, Cuban cigars. Now, I used to smoke them, but I quit in 2009 and I didn't touch them for like 15 years. We have a nice cigar shop right across from where I live, just a couple steps away. And I got back into it and I started doing 2 or 3 of those a day. So when I left, the withdrawals from the nicotine alone made my body go into freak out mode. But I've never smoked a cigarette, or never smoked pot. Never done any drugs. But, April has. April likes the gummy pots from time to time. All right, well, what else is new here? Oh, Steve, I one of the reasons why I never took up smoking is because I had pneumonia a couple times when I was younger, and then I lost a few family members to smoking. They had lung cancer, and I just never got into it. Now with cigars, you only do it in your mouth, and if you do it long enough, you can fuck up your mouth too and your esophagus. But every time I leave town, I quit. So one of the reasons why I leave is so I can quit. But smoking up high-end Romeo and Juliets and, um, oh gosh, there's so many I've had that I've tried over the past months. It's just so good. It's so good, so addicting. But part of why I like the cigars too, it's so sociable. We'll sit out there and we'll just, and people come up to you and talk to you, and it just becomes like a conversation starter. April also likes to smoke cigars, and sometimes. Honeyco also occasionally has tried it, but because she's breastfeeding, or she was breastfeeding, we had to be careful. You have to be careful with breastfeeding. Oh yeah, George Burns, absolutely. I could probably literally do 5 cigars a day if I didn't stop myself. Of course, it's an expensive habit as well. It's crazy expensive, but sometimes I like to sit out there on the beach and we'll put out a mat and just, you know, it's it's too good sometimes. Well, I had 2 bad cases of pneumonia, Steve, and I felt like my lung capacity, I know at the time, got really severely affected by it. And the idea, I used to nebulize, and even nebulizing, breathing something into my lungs just was difficult for me. I don't have a problem with people smoking either cigarettes or marijuana from a moral, ethical, legal. I don't have a problem with it at all. It's just more my personal thing where I had that fear of breathing it into my lungs. Well, is there anything else anybody wants to say? I guess that's probably about it from me. Uh, I'm just going to give you a final word of wisdom here. Take what idiot Frank has to say with a grain of salt. Don't let it get to you. To Nico out there, if you hear this, don't let it affect you, man. Uh, Life is too short. You got too many other things to do. If you can have fun with it and leave it alone, fine, that's good. But if you can't, or if it affects you too much, best thing is to not engage in it. I hope you're out enjoying your life with Maria out on the prairie or wherever you might be, just enjoying your life in the Philippines. It's very good. And just keep it up. Keep it up. Have fun. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Be safe. Thank you for that advice, Chicken Choker and Ernest. Once again, great meeting you. Yeah, no one listens to Frank. You're right. Nonsense. Some people do in an unhealthy way, though. It consumes every minute of their life, or they feel they have to hide their life because they'll be out being doxxed. They're going to be exposed. You know what? Let them expose you. I don't care. I used to hide everything because of that. Then I decided to go the other way. I am way happier this way. We show it all. We don't care. We're not here to get anyone's approval. And the last person on earth that I give a shit about their approval is little Frank. Yeah, nice meeting you. All right, so I'm gonna wind it up here, guys, even though there's still 11 people in. Thank you for coming. I want to give a big shout out to Ernest Connell, Chicken Choker, Honeyco, Don C, Steve. Oh yeah, Ernest. Who else was in here? Well, whoever else was in here, the fact that I didn't mention your name doesn't mean we don't appreciate you. We appreciate you. We love you. And honest to goodness, I will say this final thought. You know what? 99%, I've met 60 to 70 people. I'd say 99% of what I have met has been very positive and very good. And only one or two scumbags. So most of the people I've even met in this community, it's been very good. So, keep meeting people and Popeye one simulcast coming up. Okay. Well, shout out to Popeye as well. The Aloe and Popeye feud, I don't believe it for a second. I think they're both jerking Frank's chain. Those guys have been friends for a decade. And they both have been nice to me, so I'm not gonna get involved in even if it was real. They're both nice to me, and I don't have any issue with either one of them. But I think it's all a put on, just to get Frank to incriminate himself once again. Alright. So, anyway, so shout out to Popeye and Aloe and Ricky and the other real personalities out there and all the people in this chat. Deeply appreciate you coming. We will catch you all maybe in a week or two if we go to a different location. I will definitely do something, or I'll do something in Europe. But for now, from Bangkok, God bless you all. We'll talk to you soon.